technology incubation, I was mentioning today microelectronics lab in Stanford University, same lab we want to put here, 50 to 60 crores it cost. But entire world comes to that microelectronics lab in Stanford University. That kind of incubation centers, unless government support, industry support, university cannot excel. Isn't it? With meager resources, with the tuition fee, we cannot create an infrastructure in the universities. Industry has to support. Strategies concerned, we need to have a strategy for higher education institution, particularly innovative use of ICT, information communication technology. What is actual IT? Everybody talks about. The marriage between electronics and computer science is nothing but IT. IT enables us to have a store the data, retrieve the data, manipulate the data, communicate with the data. That's what IT. We have to use IT for variety purposes, particularly for education. Attract foreign students. So we don't get foreign students from abroad. We are getting, but in the country, if we take, we're getting about 10,000 foreign students to our country in higher education sector. But whereas 100,000 students are going to abroad from India. If you take all countries, about more than 1 lakh students go abroad. But attracting to India is only less than 10,000 students. Industry investments are important. So they can't expect today's solution to be provided immediately. Unless our capacity of the faculty rises to the level, then only they can address the industry problems. For that, industry has to invest. Then only the results will be there. So generate revenue through consultancy, each university. Government allocation of presently 0.1% of GDP is allocated to higher education in our country, only 0.1%. So many developed countries, it is coming to 1 to 2%, some of the 5% also. So at least 2% of GDP should be invested in the higher education sector. Then only our universities can progress. Innovative use of ICT, information communication technology, can perform the multiple roles in higher education to benefit the stakeholders, particularly anytime, anywhere learning is important. Our system is that now every student has to come to classroom, and cities people are traveling. At least I know in Hyderabad, a student travels 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. 4 hours he is spending in the buses only. So there is no time for them to learn. So they should be anytime, anywhere, you could be able to learning. Even you could log on at home and you can use the mobile phone. Today, tablets are there. Put the content, everything, you put a tablet and give them. Use the technology for them. The earlier system is different. Now student has to put hardship. And no institution, they stay after 4 p.m. Except watchman, nobody will be there. Everybody get out by 4:30. So we have to use the time optimally. Easier to introduce new courses. We should give a flexibility for them to start the new courses. Why should you put hindrance on anybody start a program? Research utilization optimal level. So we have resources are there, but optimize, we require more numbers can be there. Similarly, whatever the existing equipment available should be put to maximum use. And lesser capital cost should be aimed, better quality education to provide it to the student. So I think virtual university also another area where we have to access could be increased, not only physical universities, virtual universities. Virtual university realize the education, its learning opportunities through electronic devices. So one way is well-designed web portal using multimedia technologies. Somebody was telling that Faridabad, no power is available. These problems will be there, developing country. These problems will be there, but we need to overcome all these difficulties. Okay, you cannot blame anybody. Our system is there, and we have to go a long way in competing the worldwide. And courses could be available on portal. Like IGNOU is experimenting in the country particularly. IGNOU has gone ahead. I don't know, Professor Pillai enjoys more freedom than any other university in the country. So a number of programs are there, certificate courses, diploma courses, today tailor-made, customized program, but other universities are not allowing to do that. So the virtual university should be provided, and I think IGNOU also should become virtual university by the time, another 5 years to come. Virtual lectures, international interactive sessions should be there, simulations to support the practical and experimental work. I have seen in Sweden, recently I visited a country like Sweden, Blekinge Institute of Technology, Sweden. They have a remote labs. That means every institution doesn't buy equipment. They can log on to the institution, they can do experiment sitting at that institution. Remote labs are there. You don't have to invest large amount of money. Similarly, assignments. So mobile learning is a Hong Kong University, Japanese University, some university in Europe, they're using a mobile itself for learning process for student. Teacher give assignment and send it to all the students through SMS, and mobile they solve and send it to the teacher back. That's mobile learning system is there. So we assignment, otherwise they copy the assignments in the canteen, isn't it? That's what usually they do. And we give 5 out of 5 everybody. So now an evaluation is done. So we need to have an innovative, use the technology. This kind of thing, age-old practice cannot be implemented. We need to use the experiment with the technology. Similarly, evaluation system. I have, for example, my university, I have 24 lakh scripts will be there. I have to evaluate in 2 weeks' time. How do you do it? So erratic valuation. Somebody gives 20 marks, somebody gives 40 marks, somebody gives 80 marks. There is no uniformity. Student put to penalizing. So you should have objective assessment is required. Similarly, certification, valid certification and authenticity. Who can benefit from virtual universities concerned? These are the stakeholders who get benefit out of virtual university. And small and medium-sized enterprises, unemployed youth, university students, similarly foreign student, people with a difficult to go for a university system, people lacking of time, and providing a second chance to those people who were unable to initiate or finish their studies. These are the people can be used for virtual university concept. And these are the areas where you can have a vision for higher education institution and use the technology for betterment. And paradigm shift in pedagogy is concerned particularly, we have a behaviorism, we change to cognitivism. Similarly, I'm not able to read this. Teacher-centric become a learning-centric, and particularly individual learning become a cooperative or collaborative learning. So normally what happened when a group of 60 people, you break them into 10 students in each group, and 6 of them you give a different problem and ask them to excel and ask them to make a presentation. The competition is built among them. They try to learn more rather than only teacher teaching. That's what the collaborative learning or cooperative learning or participative learning is called. Similarly, experimental learning is becoming a discovery learning. Students should discover something. Otherwise, conventional way of teaching doesn't help. Similarly, learning approach should be non-linear approach. It's not a linear approach, should be non-linear. It should be grow that. So with this, I think these are some of the ideas where higher education should have a vision for and also providing access and equity and also quality and relevance. So thank you very much for your attention.